A person shouldn't have to leave their house, go all the way over yonder to go make some groceries when it could be one right here in the community.
There is a real concern of what it means to have food security available to neighbors, throughout the whole city. I do believe and stand with the people behind me that food is a right and we should have access to healthy food.
No. The answer to that is absolutely no. You do not have a right to a grocery store to be close to you. You do not have a right to food in the city of Milwaukee. And honestly, that attitude of entitlement and not caring about the actual issues going on with all these different pick and save locations and other stores in the city of Milwaukee is exactly the reason why these businesses are closing. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Sean, and today we got to talk about protests in the city of Milwaukee against stores that are closing due to the rampant crime that is going on at these locations, including theft, violent robberies, violent assaults, and of course, these people are angry at the stores, at the businesses, for not allowing people to steal rather than, being angry at the community for perpetually stealing from these locations. Now, we're going to get into this. We're going to break this down. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
We have been at this pick and save on North 35th Street where we can already see that people have been showing up and seeing these wooden boards that are already covering the windows and doors. In the past, the company said they're closing for the health of the business. Food security and accessibility are among the concerns for this group of people as wooden boards cover up windows and doors at the Pick and Save location on 35th in Milwaukee.
So look, I want to live in a first world country. I want to have a nation where our major cities in each and every state are able to have basic ordinary things like grocery stores in order to remain in operation. This is something that we should have in the United States of America because we should be that shining city on the hill. But the fact is, these people out here protesting the closure of the store, coming out now at the end of the cycle, rather than, protesting earlier on where there were a bunch of different problems going on at these locations, they're absurd beyond all degrees. The fact that they're holding signs that are demanding that Pick and Save do what is just, which is remain open for people to steal from them, is so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous that honestly, these people really do deserve to have to drive all the way out of town in order to get their damn groceries or overpay at the only corner stores that can remain in business in this particular area because they just don't get it. They just don't understand it. None of these people were protesting all the different rampant crimes that were going on at these locations. And in fact, the first result that came up on a Google search when I searched Milwaukee Pick and Save and crime was the story of this 84-year-old woman who was savagely beaten during a mugging after she loaded the groceries that she purchased into her car in the Pick and Save parking lot.
Brutally attacked in broad daylight.
The victim, an 84-year-old woman, speaking exclusively with our Aaron Maben about an attack at a Milwaukee grocery store.
Well, I'm angry, of course, but I'm also sad that this has to happen in our society.
This 84-year-old woman named Sue, as we don't share her full name or show her full face.
You can see what my face looks like, and that's because of a broken nose.
But she wanted us to share her story.
Went in, got my groceries, and loaded my trunk, and was about to get into the driver's seat.
That's when she says she was forcefully pushed to the ground near the Pick and Save on North Avenue in Humboldt around 4 p.m. Sunday.
Where was the outrage then? Where were the protests then? Where was the state senator showing up demanding that something just be done in response to that crime? And nowhere. These people were completely absent because they didn't care because this woman was not in their group and they didn't think it impacted them. Again, first YouTube search result that I pulled up when I searched Milwaukee Pick and Save and crime was another elderly woman who was violently attacked and assaulted in the parking lot of a Pick and Save by another mugger.
$54, that's how much muggers stole from her grandma as she was putting away her groceries.
But the brutality didn't stop there.
The 69-year-old was putting groceries in her car Tuesday when another vehicle stopped behind her.
The driver got out, looked around like he was looking for somebody, and she noticed that, didn't think anything of it.
That's when the man grabbed her purse, pulling her over the cart.
She crawled on their car as it was parked, and she thought it was going to stop them from pulling off. It was about 20 feet that they drove with her on the hood until they swerved hard enough and she flew off.
And guess what? None of these people were out there. None of these people were outraged. None of these people were demanding justice. But when all of a sudden, the robberies, the theft, the criminality has gotten too much for Pick and Save to bear, and they actually have to close these locations because grocery stores have very low margins, and it was not only affecting every one of these locations, but their business as a whole, suddenly there's protests. Suddenly, people's rights are being violated, but never the rights of the private property owner to not be stolen from, never the rights of the random customer who's savagely beaten in the parking lot, the rights of these people to not have to drive a little bit further to go get their groceries.
This is just heartbreaking that this is happening to our community again. Over and over again. This is not fair.
It may be heartbreaking that it's happening to your community over and over again, all the different various stores that are closing, but make no mistake about it, this is fair. This is just. If you vote for politicians, they go into office, they defund the police, they relax prosecutions on theft, that negatively impacts businesses, then guess what? Those businesses are not obligated to stay in your location with your bad policies in order to serve you, in order to be stolen from repeatedly. You are not the victim in this. Pick and Save is the victim, and all the different various elderly people that apparently get savagely beaten in your city that you're never outraged about.
It broke my heart. What is we gonna do? This is the only big grocery store in the community.
In June, the company announced it would close 5 Pick and Save grocery stores in the Milwaukee area, including Glendale, South Milwaukee, and Oak Creek.
What is we gonna do? This is the only big grocery store in the community. How about this? Here's an idea. And, I'm just spitballing here. I haven't studied the issue. I haven't done a mathematical analysis of the books in Pick and Save. I just looked up the rampant criminality that's going on in all these locations. But maybe if another grocery store opens, stop stealing from it. Maybe if politicians are saying thieves are innocent Beba Angel Aladdins who didn't do nothing wrong, who just want bread from their starving family, you disagree with them, you vote in different politicians, and you don't let these locations keep getting robbed until they go out of business. Again, I'm just throwing out theories. This is just an idea that came up in my brain. Maybe it's not that smart, maybe it's not that intelligent, or maybe it's exactly what you need to do. Maybe you should look in the mirror, your whole community should look in the mirror, and think about all the times you didn't protest when there was rampant criminality, and of course, a defunded police force that was not up to the task of addressing it. Maybe you should think about a little bit of that, a little bit of the looting, a little bit of the problems in your own community, rather than blame the grocery store for the end result of your actions.
A person shouldn't have to leave their house, go all the way over yonder, to go make some groceries when it could be one right here in the community.
So that's the clip from the opening of this where she said a person shouldn't have to go all the way out of the community to buy groceries. And again, I completely disagree with her. Also, I will point out that her name is Tisha Bully White.
Tisha Bully White.
So if your name is actually Bully White people, then maybe I don't support you, because that's just racism right there, lady.
Affordable food, food for our community, food for our families, food period. How are we going to survive?
So look, obviously for the non-criminal element in the city, I do feel bad for these people. I'm not some kind of monster or anything of the sort, but the fact is, she's asking questions about how they're going to survive without this grocery store. But what about the people who actually own the grocery store? The ones that make their living from it. What about the employees that work at the grocery store? That again, that's how they pay for the food for their families. What are they supposed to do when you allow the community to basically say it's okay to steal from these locations, it's okay to terrorize these locations to the point where they can no longer be in operation? I mean, when are you going to notice the pattern of all these different various businesses in this area, not just the grocery store, closing due to rampant theft, and demand change from your politicians? Why are you inviting a state senator who probably voted wrong on all of the issues relevant to this situation to talk about how Pick and Save is the bad guy, when in reality, your community, they're the bad guys, they're the problem? problems. They're the issue.
We're thinking about all the closures that's happening. So this is one store to close. Walgreens is closing as well. We have clinics closing. So now we have to go way outside of our immediate area to get the things that we need to live a whole and full, thriving life.
Now look, they interview another woman who's participating in yet another protest against a pick and save, a rather large woman, and she lays out all the different various stores that close in the area. And again, she keeps talking about how the community is being victimized, when guess what? Members of the community were victimizing these businesses. Members of these community were the problems, and the real victims, again, are the people who actually work in these stores, the people who own the buildings that are no longer going to take rent because you can't have an operation there. The real victims are the people who are being attacked at all these different various locations, and yet your organization wasn't out here protesting. Your organization wasn't demanding change because in reality you thought it was no big deal, and you probably thought it was really nice that we were letting out these innocent Beba Angel Aladdins to steal over and over and over again. And one of the things that we see in the crime statistics, make no mistake about it, it's that it's the same people that are stealing. You don't even have to lock up that many people in order to deter this behavior. As we talked about, in the city of New York, 8 million population, largest city in the country, it's 327 people that make up a third of the shoplifting arrests. 327 people getting arrested thousands upon thousands of times. And if you just hold those core group of criminals, you will cut your theft rates by a third. It's not that difficult. And yet these people constantly vote for the wrong thing and then complain about what they voted for.
Here's a look at the 5 locations that are being closed in Milwaukee, Glendale, South Milwaukee, and Oak Creek. Pick and Save is offering resources to affected customers at the Metcalf Park and Silver Spring locations. Those resources include free prescription deliveries for the rest of the year and a free 30-day grocery delivery trial.
Pick and Save doesn't have to offer anything, but I do commend them for offering what they did. Although the 30-day grocery delivery free trial, that seems like a little bit of a trap because you're going to end up having to pay a subscription in order to get your groceries each and every month for the rest of your life, unless something new opens up or you're willing to drive much further out. But the thing is, people talk about how, being poor makes things cost more in the United States of America. That's not necessarily the case because typically you have these discount grocery stores that provide incredibly low prices to serve the community. But when you rob them, when you make their business not viable, yes, as a consequence of criminality, you are driven further into poverty, which is something we discuss on this channel so many times. I feel honestly ridiculous repeating it. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts about this whole story. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As per usual, if you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about people protesting stores closing rather than the politicians that enable the criminals that are driving them out of business. Till next time.